Hi, welcome to the Anxiety Doesn't Own Me podcast. My name is Emmanuel Isaacson, and I'm here to help you to heal your anxiety naturally. On today's episode, what we'll be discussing is if therapy can help us to heal our anxiety. It's a yes and no answer because yes, it could definitely help you with your anxiety, and no, it's not the solution to the problem that we're having. And I'll go into deeper detail of why. Therapy has a lot of benefits to it, and I'm a huge believer in therapy. I went to therapy myself, and it really, really, really does help. There's a lot of things that it can really help you with. And what therapy is there for is to help you to. A lot of us that we went through that we're having anxiety, we have a lot of hurt and we grew up a certain way. And I can tell this from the people that I have dealt with and the people that I've spoken with in my own personal life. They grew up in a very aggressive, unhealthy, unsupportive environment, a very anxious environment, very angry environment. And that can hold us down a lot. And inside of us, we can hold a lot inside of us that therapy helps us to let out and take out and to be able to express. And that really does help in the healing process of anxiety, taking out what you have inside. I remember I went to therapy and I would just sit there and talk. I would not want my therapist to talk. I would just come there and just talk. Of course, the therapist does a lot of good points, change my perspective of things, help me to heal a lot of my issues that I was having inside internally. It helped me to heal a lot. But at the same time that I realized that, you know what, therapy does help it helps with certain things, but I realized, hey, my anxiety I'm still experiencing anxiety and it's hard for me. And it gave me a lot of tips on how to deal with anxiety and everything, but I had to take the next step because again, therapy is only there for 1 hour a week, sometimes 45 minutes a week, once a week, and sometimes bi-weekly, that the rest of the week has a strong influence on us. And we ourselves, and this is why I say no, it's not the solution to the problem, because we are the solution to the problem, that we ourselves need to take responsibility in applying, number one, those things from therapy, and number two, doing other things, taking other routes to get to our destination. We want to take multiple routes, not only therapy, multiple different routes in order to get to our destination of being anxiety-free. And that can be with reading books, going to seminars, doing workshops, working on ourselves. And what I mean by all those things is that working on ourselves' mentality, our mental state, in picking our self-esteem, our self-confidence, our negative thinking, changing from negative to positive. And therapy really helps with other issues, but we also need outside of therapy to take responsibility and help us to change our mindset and look at things differently. And again, I'm a huge believer in therapy and it can do a lot of wonders and there's a lot of great things, and I recommend a lot of people to go to therapy. And of course, I know that it's hard to find the right therapist. It took me quite some time. I remember my first therapist, my brother's therapist, that he recommended me to go because he was dealing with mental health issues. Whenever I was going through my anxiety, my depression, he recommended me his therapist. So I went to go see him. And I remember this like it was yesterday. Now imagine, whenever you're first experiencing anxiety, you're not understanding what's going on with you. You're kind of lost and it's kind of confusing. You feel like you're going insane. That's what it feels like. And you go to see this therapist and you think that, this person will have answers to the problem that I'm having because he went to school to help people with mental health and to help them to heal. So I go in there and we're talking, and I was talking for about like 30 minutes, and I'll never forget this. I was looking out towards the window that's where he was facing, and he looked me dead straight in the face. He's like, "Emmanuel, I have no idea what you're talking about." I was like, whoa. I'm like, if this therapist has no idea what I'm talking about, then I am officially insane. That's what I told myself. I'll never forget that. I said I should have never come here. I was better off back then before I went to go see that therapist. That's what I said to myself. I'm like, this is the worst mistake I ever made. And I was terrified to find somebody else. But what I did is I did try to find somebody else, and it took me a good few times, and I spent money. But eventually I did find a good therapist. And he wasn't even a therapist. He was a social worker. That's what he was. But again, I really don't care about therapists. If he has a PhD, I really don't care about those things. I didn't care about those things. Just from my own experience, and I can guarantee your own experience of therapists that told you things like, okay, like you're not qualified to be a therapist. You have no idea. And the person that I found, the reason why I stuck with him is because he went through the anxiety disorder. He went through it, he healed it and overcame it. And he was able to help me to overcome my own anxiety because of that. He helped me out a lot, because he understood where I was coming from. He understood the pain, he understood the struggle, and he understood what worked and what didn't work. So that's why I always recommend is to find somebody that went through anxiety, that dealt with anxiety disorders and overcame it. They are going to be the best people to help you to overcome your anxiety. And I'm, by the way, one of those people. So if you are interested, we can definitely, I can definitely help you to get to being anxiety free, because I know exactly how to do it. And my goal, my mission, I always say this in the end of the podcast, that in every episode, my mission is to help as many people as possible to overcome their anxiety naturally. That's what I want to do, because I'm a big believer that it is definitely possible to overcome it. We just have to do it the right way. And a lot of us were so used to just doing one thing, and we think that that's the solution, but there's so much more to it that can help. And think about it this way. It's like going to the gym, right? For example, when we go to the gym, whenever we want to build muscle, we're just not going to go and do bench pressing, because that's only going to help with the chest, right? We also need to do curls. We can also do calisthenics. We can also do as well different techniques so that we can build body mass and we can build muscle. Same thing with our mind. We can't just do one thing in order for us to help us to get the solution that we want. We have to do multiple different things, and that's reading books, going to courses, taking courses, going to seminars, going to workshops, having a coach, somebody to help to guide you to the place that you want to be. So again, therapy can definitely help with anxiety. It's definitely a stepping stone in getting you towards that place of anxiety, but also as well, at the same time, it is not the solution to the problem of healing your anxiety. If you did like this episode, click the like button and give me a 5-star review. Again, this helps me to reach more people. And if you think that this can help and benefit somebody else, share this with them. Because again, the more people that we can share and get this word out, the more people that we can help together. Because again, my mission in life is to help people to overcome their anxiety naturally. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.